Hello guys, welcome back. Today's video is an extension of our previous video where we'll try to understand our very first Java program which we had written in our last video. Then we'll try to understand the types of main method signature, and later we'll look at the file naming rules in Java. So without wasting time, let's get started. Now this is the program which we had written in our previous video. So now let us try to understand each and every component of our program. So I'll write the program once again and try to understand it. Okay. Now let us continue to understand our very first Java program. So first thing you might have noticed is what I have written is my class, right? So my class, right? What do you mean by class? So class is a building block of any Java application. So everything in Java is inside a class, right? So it's kind of a language specification. We can say that, whatever you want to do, you need to do inside a class. And so each and every application you write in Java will contain at least one class, right? So in this, my class is my class, and you might have noticed I've written this uppercase M and uppercase C. So this is the naming convention, right? So all of your classes, and it must contain the first alphabet must be uppercase for each and every word, and mostly it's a noun, right? So if I had my class and I need to write test, so T will be uppercase, right? So this is the class, and inside class we can write our methods. But before that, you must have noticed this curly braces. So this upper one marks the opening of a class and the lower one marks the end of a class. So anything which you write between this, like the methods or variables belong to this class, which is my class test. Okay, now let us try to understand main method. So the signature of main method is something like this: public static void main, and then we have this string args, and then we have this followed by a opening and closing curly brackets, right? So what is this main method? So the main method is the main entry point for any Java program. So whenever your program starts executing, it will first look for this main method, and then followed by that, whatever commands you call within this method, it will be executed. So we can think of a main method as the main point of execution, right? So there are very different kind of signatures, right, for main method. The one of the easiest and the most commonly used is this: public static void main string args. You might have noticed some words like public static void before this main, right? So what are these? These are your keywords, right? And we'll discuss them in detail later on, but for now you need to understand these keywords. The main method has this specific signature, and if you change any of these keywords, or if you remove them, it won't execute, right? And we have few more types of signature, we'll see them later on, right? So now let us move on to our third part, right, which is printing our message. Okay, so we will type system.out.println, and I will type the message hello world. Okay, so what is this? So this is nothing but your statement, right? As in English we say some statement, in programming language we can say statement using system.out.println, and in English you end your statement with a full stop. Similarly in Java you end your statement with a semicolon. Okay, so this is nothing but your statement. Okay, and here we have only just one statement, which is system.out.println, and we can have multiple statements as well. Okay, so that is it from this main class. Now let us save this program and run this. Okay, so we'll click on save and name this as file3.java and hit save. Now I'll open up my terminal. I'll compile the Java program by saying javac file3.java Java. And if there are no errors, I should be prompted onto the next line. And here I'll execute by typing Java my class test, which is your class name, and I'll hit enter. And you should see hello world. All right. Now let us look at the different signatures of main method. So one you have seen is public static void main string followed by a square brackets and then args. The another one is if you remove the square brackets and instead you write triple dots, right? So if you write string 3 dots, these are called as variable arguments, but we will talk about them later. So this is also a kind of a signature which is accepted by our program, and we'll save this and run this. Okay, so I've saved this, and if I run this program again, I'll write java c and file3.java, and I should not find any compilation errors. Later I'll execute it by typing java and my class test, and yes, you can see hello world. The third signature which we need to be aware about is by using or adding final keyword as well. So you can write public final static, and if you save this, and if after saving this we hit on our terminal and we call this java compile command, then we run this by using java command, and you should see that we have again successfully printed hello world. So these are 3 signatures which we need to be aware about, right? And one interesting thing about this program is you can change the order of your keywords like public, final and static, right? So it can be written in any order, like you can write final first and then public and static, and but the void should be in that position only, which is before the main method name. Okay, so that is it from the method signature. And one thing which you need to be aware about Java is that it is case sensitive, which means that the main in lowercase and main in uppercase is totally different. So if we type this main in uppercase and if we try to save this and run this, while executing we should get the main method not found error. So I have saved this. I'll open up my terminal, I'll compile it, java c, and it is file3.java. okay, file3.java. So I've compiled it. Now let me try to run this, right? So we'll say java my class test. Oops. Yes, and you see this error, main method not found in class my test. So you should be very cautious about naming, because uppercase and lowercase are totally different things in Java. So now let us move on to the last part of our video, which is naming our Java files. So throughout our videos, we have been naming our files as file1, file2, file3 and so on, right? And we were able to successfully compile and execute our program. But there is a convention in Java that if our class is public, so if we add public keyword before our class and if we try to save this and run this, so we'll get the compilation error. So you'll see this in a action, right? So I tried to compile this, which is file3.java. okay, sorry, it should be Java, and yes, you have this error, which is class my class is public should be declared in a file named my class test.java. So what this error states is, if your class is a public class, don't worry about this now, we'll discuss this later on. So if your class is a public class, your file name should be declared by your class name. What it means that throughout our applications we have been saving this as file1, file2, file3 and so on, but if you're adding public keyword before your class, your class should be saved as your Java file should be saved as your class name. So I need to save in as my class test. It should be capital T. Oops, why my test, and if I hit save, and now if I try to run this, so I'll call this Java C my class test dot java. Okay, now there's no compilation error. So now try to execute java my class test. And yes, you have this message printed onto your screen. Okay, so that is it from today's video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you have any problem, you can definitely comment below. So see you until next time.